not only am I currently in school to become a certified personal trainer, I'm also with the course. I also get certified in nutrition, and I also get my CPR and AED certification as well. So yeah, so it's all encompassing, whole package. You can now start the slide for me, please. While they're while they're getting the slide ready, let us do what we would call in the fitness field a warm up. So at this time, may everybody please stand. There won't be anything too strenuous, I promise you. So now everybody that has stand up. So now what I want you to do is stretch your arms out, all the way out. Now rotate your arms clockwise for about 10 seconds. And then after 10 seconds, rotate it counterclockwise. Now do it counterclockwise. All right. Now after doing that little warm up, what parts of your body do you feel engaged? Like what body parts feel engaged on your body? So the reason why you would want to do you can sit down now. You can sit down now. The reason why you would want your arms and most importantly your shoulders to feel warm and to feel loose when you're doing certain kinds of exercises is, for instance, right? If I'm taking a dumbbell and I'm going to sit on a bench and I'm going to do what's called a dumbbell chest press, if my shoulders are not warmed up, you can cause yourself serious harm. You can cause damage to your rotator cuff. You can cause damage to your anterior deltoid. You can cause significant damage if your muscles are not warmed up. So there's a common misperception that when you work out, you can just go ahead and just start working out as soon as you're like, all right, let me go start doing the exercise program today, and then I just go hit a particular weight and I don't warm up the necessary body part. It can cause a strain, which is actually tears in your muscles. That's what strains are. So you can cause a strain in your muscles if you don't properly warm up the body parts that you're going to be working out for that particular exercise. So the title of the PowerPoint that I've put together today is Exercise Like Your Life Depends on It. Exercise isn't an option, but it's a necessity. What is exercise? Exercise is an activity that is meant to sustain and improve one's health and fitness. Regular physical exercise is crucial for maintaining good health. It benefits both body and mind. Exercise has been shown to prevent and manage a wide range of health conditions. Benefits of exercise are life-changing. The four main benefits of exercise are the following: physical health, mental health, disease prevention, and social interaction. Physical health. Exercise improves cardiovascular health. It strengthens the heart, lowers blood pressure, and improves circulation. It lowers the risk of cardiovascular disease up to 57%. And the reason the case that is because each of us have different body types. So the the impact will be different from person to person because each of us carry different body types. Boost immune systems. Regular exercise helps to prevent infections and illness. Moderate intensity exercises, in particular, have been shown to increase the circulation in immune cells and improve their ability to detect and destroy pathogens and even reduce the risk of certain infections and inflammatory responses. Exercise also enhances strength and flexibility. It increases muscle mass, joint flexibility, and balance. So for instance, the importance of increasing muscle mass. The more muscle you have, it pushes fat out. And you want your body fat percentage to be as low as possible. You don't want, I'm not sitting here saying you have to have 1% body fat. That's not what I'm saying. That's a little extreme. But you want it to be at a manageable level. Again, that's given and it dictates. There's a lot of different factors that go into that. Obviously, body type, age, weight, things of that nature. You want your fat percentage to be somewhere between about 15 to like 23% body fat. You don't want anything that's like crazy. You don't want anything that's high, like 35 to 40%, because then you're putting yourself at a severe health risk when your fat percentages are that high. So when you're working out, it helps to decrease your fat percentage. But what they don't also tell you too is as you increase your fat percentage, your BMI will go up, your body mass will go up. So there'll be times like you can see a guy, he can be a big, like, muscular guy. His fat percentage can be like 10%, but his BMI may be like 35 or 40. That would be considered actually obese. That would be considered obese. He would be considered obese even though he's a muscular person and his fat percentage is low. He would be actually considered, if you go by health markers, he would be considered obese. So it's like, there's certain information that you have to really do the research for yourself, because the doctor will tell you, oh, you're obese, and you'll look at yourself and be like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. So it's like, there's a lot of different misconceptions out there when it comes to BMI, to fat percentage, things like that. So it's important that that we do the respective research on our own and not just take the advice of the doctors. Yes, it's important, but sometimes even what they're telling you sometimes can be misguided. Joint flexibility. That's important as well when you're talking about exercising. And balance. So when it comes to balance, there's actually an exercise that I want to do at this moment, and I want to actually pick somebody out to do this exercise with me in regards to balance. Catrice, you could come up. Donald. No, Carice. I'm sorry, Patrice. I'm sorry. Carice and Donald, you can come up real quick. So when I was actually in class, there was one balance exercise that they used to determine which side are you most dominant on. Which side do you preferably lean to? Are you a left-hand dominant person or are you a right-hand dominant person? So the exercise that they would have us do is they would have you lift up one of your legs and hold it in place for 5 to 10 seconds. And they would calculate which side you held longer, and that would be one of the tests that they would use to dictate what side are you most dominant or which side do you use the most. So at this time, will y'all both lift up your right leg and hold it in place. See how long you can hold it in place. It's good balance. All right, put it down. Put your leg down, Donald. Now do your now do your left leg. See? This shows that she has equal distributed balance on both sides of her body, whereas Donald may be more right side dominant when it comes to, the different activities and exercises that he does. Most of his strength may come from the right side of his body. All right, you guys can go back and sit down. Thank you for your participation. Exercise helps with weight management, burns calories, reduces fat, and it increases your metabolism. Some of the mental health benefits of exercise. It helps to reduce stress and anxiety. Exercise triggers the release of endorphins, promoting a sense of well-being. It says that studies show that 150 minutes of weekly physical activity is effective. So just to put that into perspective, right? There's 168 hours in a week. You can cancel out 24 hours for the Sabbath. You're not going to be doing any exercise, any things like that for that period. You can take out your 8-hour shift from work. So that's another 40 hours. You can take out another 40 hours for your sleep. Even when that's left over, all they're asking you to do is 2.5 hours worth of exercise a week. So you can over a 6-day period, you could get 2.5 hours of exercise in any different form or fashion. I know for myself, and you can even ask Ash, I tend to want to work out in the morning because I know when I get home, I'm not going to want to go back out. So there's times where she'll hear me leaving the house like 4:30, 4:45 in the morning because I'm going to the gym to get a workout in. And also I find that when I work out early like that in the morning, I'm up, I'm engaged, and then even when I'm going to work, I'm more focused because my blood is already pumping. I already have, the energy that I need for the day. So that's just me though. Like like I said, I prefer to work out in the morning, but sometimes because of schedule and people's schedule, they work out at different times of the day. But even if it's 20 or 30 minutes a day, it was talking about, Elder Green was talking about he goes and he bikes every morning. Pastor a few weeks ago was talking about how he goes out and he walks. You take those precious moments, those precious few minutes, that can do such a significant thing in your life by getting that circulation. Just alone, the circulation, that's what, as long as there's circulation and there's adequate circulation in your body, a lot of the different conditions and infections and diseases that come about won't show themselves because there's adequate circulation in your body, adequate oxygen in your body. So it's just about being mobile and being active at the end of the day. It says with reduction in anxiety, risks up to 49% in some short-term studies. Research shows that exercise can be effective as a psychotherapy or antidepressants in managing symptoms of depression and anxiety. Exercise improves mood. It says regular activity can help manage depression and boost mood. Regular physical activity can reduce the number of poor mental health days by over 40% and decrease the likelihood of depressive and anxious symptoms by 12 to 34%. Exercise can change the way that the brain functions, potentially reducing feelings of anxiety and depression. Physical activity can improve blood flow and oxygen supply to the brain, supporting better brain performance. So the importance of exercise on the mood, it can't be understated. For instance, you go to the gym, you work out, you get a sweat, or you work out at home, you get a sweat, you have a feeling of accomplishment. You automatically like feel it, like and also it's an environmental thing too. Like for me, when I'm at the gym and I'm working out, and I see other people in there and they're working out, that also boosts my mood too, because it's like we're all on the same wavelength. We all want to better our health, and we all want to maintain the current health that we have. So it's not only a mood, it improves your mood, but it also improves in a social environment. You also see improvement in the social environment, because you could actually use exercising and going to the gym as a gateway to evangelism and evangelizing. You can meet people at the gym. You can develop and start friendships. And you can, through that way, that can be an avenue in which you can spread the gospel as well. Enhances cognitive function. It improves focus, memory, and mental clarity. Adults with a higher activity level have a 38% lower risk of cognitive decline, and even moderate activity offers a 35% lower risk. Dementia risk decreases with increased physical activity, with levels 140 minutes or more per week showing a 69% lower risk compared to lower activity levels. Weekly moderate physical activity can increase cognitive function scores by about 5% and for men and 14% for women. Adding vigorous activity further increases these benefits. So as we know, we weren't, created to be stationary. We were created to move around and to be active. The more active we are, not only is it, like it's saying, a physical benefit, it's also a mental benefit as well, because now you're thinking, it keeps your brain active, and you want not just your muscles and your body to be active, but you also want your mind and your mental to be active as well. So it's important, like I've been saying, to get a certain level of exercise a day. We have, again, 24 hours in the day. If we take 15 to 20 minutes a day to work out and to exercise, you'll see the benefits of it almost immediately. Sister Esty, once we finish the presentation, we'll have time for questions. Next slide, which is disease prevention. It reduces the risk of chronic diseases, lowers the risks of heart disease, diabetes, and certain cancers. Regular physical activity significantly reduces the risk of various chronic diseases, with statistics showing that it could lower the risk of cancer between 8 and 28%, heart disease by 19%, stroke by 19%, type 2 diabetes by 17%. Research also suggests that exercise can reduce the risk of dementia by 28 to 32%. And it says it improves longevity. Studies show that active individuals tend to live longer, healthier lives. Regular exercise is consistently and strongly linked to a longer life, with active individuals experiencing a significantly lower risk of premature death compared to their sedentary peers. Major studies show that adhering to physical activity guidelines can reduce mortality risk by 20 to 35% and add years to your life, even for those who are overweight or have a high genetic risk for a short lifespan. Exercise is also shown to support bone health. Weight-bearing exercises like walking or strength training improve bone density. Exercise significantly reduces the risk of bone loss and fractures, with studies showing that it can prevent about 1% of bone loss per year and has been linked to reduced incidence of osteoporosis and falls, especially in postmenopausal women and the elderly. Active children gain more body mass, with some studies showing 40% more in active girls and 9% more bone area and 12% more strength in active boys compared to their less active peers. High impact and weight-bearing exercises are particularly effective, as the mechanical forces stimulate bone formation and remodeling, leading to stronger and denser bones. Now let me speak on that for a second. Brother Donald has said earlier that it's important that you know what you're doing before you start exercising and using certain weights or machines. And that's important. It's important for you to know how to do the body weight exercises before you add on weight, which is called overloading, by adding on additional weight outside of your own body. It's important that you know how to do those particular exercises, because not having proper form could also lead to injury as well. It's not always the amount of weight that you're doing, it's the form. Most times people get injured because they don't have the proper technique or the proper form when they're doing their exercises. Next slide. The social benefits of exercise. Exercise promotes social interaction. Group exercises and team sports can help build relationships. Exercise benefits social development by fostering teamwork and communication skills through group activities and sports, increasing confidence and self-esteem through skill mastery and positive reinforcement, promoting peer relationships and a sense of belonging. Exercise also enhances empathy and leadership. It increases empathy and leadership abilities through shared experiences and goals. Regular physical activity provides opportunities for social interactions that can reduce feelings of isolation and build a supportive community for people of all ages. Exercise also encourages accountability. Exercising with a partner or in a class can make it easier to stick to a routine. Exercise helps build accountability by creating external motivators like a workout partner or group that foster a sense of responsibility and commitment to a fitness plan. This shared commitment encourages consistency, helps maintain motivation, provides support during challenging times, and makes it more difficult to skip workouts or give up on goals. Regular exercise also builds self-discipline and establishes routines, ultimately leading to better results and a stronger sense of ownership over one's health. And lastly, it boosts confidence. Achieving fitness goals through exercising improves self-esteem and body image. Let me say this really, really quickly and very important. When you make the decision to start to work out and exercise, have realistic goals for what you're trying to accomplish. There's a lot of people who give up on exercising because they put forth unrealistic goals. Example, I want to lose 30 pounds. That's fine, and that's a very attainable goal. But don't say I want to lose 30 pounds in 2 weeks. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So that's why I'm saying, when you make the decision, or when one makes a decision to start working out and wanting to be more fit, either you sit down with someone who is a professional in the field, or just be honest with yourself. What can I do with the time that I have to reach this goal? Reducing stress. Exercise reduces stress and anxiety, improving self-image through physical strength and fitness gains, and fostering a sense of accomplishment when setting and achieving fitness goals. The mental clarity and increased energy from regular physical activity also contributes to a more positive self-perception and a greater feeling of control over one's body and life. Next slide. Different types of exercise. You have aerobic exercises, running, cycling, swimming, walking. You have strength training. You have weightlifting, resistance bands, body weight exercise. I typically, when it comes to strength training, because it's a progression in working out, master the body weight exercises, getting comfortable with your own weight. Then you progress to using resistance bands. Resistant bands are really well because they allow you to achieve a full range of motion. You want a full stretch when you're working out because then that's going to stimulate more muscle. That's going to stimulate more muscle growth. Once you've mastered resistance bands and the different workouts you can do with resistance bands, then you move on to the weightlifting. Again, it's a process. It's a process. You don't. These are things you don't want to do right back to back to back, because your body may not be used to it. Especially if you're not someone who is overly active, you have to gradually build your body up to that point to where you can actually lift weight other than your own body. You have different flexibility exercises, mostly stretching. And then with balance and coordination, you have different balancing exercises like the one that was just shown earlier. And then even dancing is considered a type of exercise as well. Next slide. Recommended exercise guidelines. Adults, as I stated before, you aim for about 150 minutes of moderate aerobic activity or 75 minutes of vigorous activity per week. Strength training, at least 2 days per week. And the reason why, when it comes to strength training, that you only want to do it 2 days a week, is that when you're working out, the muscles and the muscle groups that you're working out, you're actually causing small tears to that muscle. That's why, for anyone that's worked out, the next day you feel really sore, or you can feel a moderate soreness the day after you work out. It's because they're micro tears in your muscle groups that you're feeling. So that's why they say either 2 days a week. Most times they say to separate your weight training days. So for instance, if I say I'm going to work out or I'm going to do weightlifting on a Sunday, try to do your next weight training day like a Wednesday or a Thursday. You want to give your body amount of time to recover from the previous time that you worked out the different muscle groups that you worked out with. We're almost finished. We're gonna have questions. We're gonna get there. We're almost finished. We're gonna get there. Trust me, we're right there. Balance and flexibility. It include exercises for balance and flexibility. The older that you get, you want to be more flexible. You want to be more flexible and have a more sustained balance, because as you get older, again, with your bone density, you don't want to have an instance where you fall or you don't have the proper balance, because as we get older, our bone strength does decrease with age. Last slide. Last slide, and this is the conclusion. Exercise is essential for maintaining overall health and wellness. It is never too late to start, and the benefits are immense. Incorporating exercise into your daily routine can improve quality of life and prevent health issues. So now, I want to get everybody involved in a couple of more exercises. So at this time, everybody please stand. Now, everybody please sit down. No, I'm about to tell you what we just did. So in doing what you just did, you did the most basic form of a squat. Sit down, you come back up. Sit down, and you come back up. You did the most basic form of a squat. So when you're working out, there's different things it's two things that is called an exercise, and it's hold when someone can't do the regular exercise, so for instance, if they can't do like a regular squat where you come all the way down like this, but they can, it's a modification. It's a modification. You can either and then you can do a progression, which would be a barbell squat, where you see the guys with the barbell. That's what would be called the progression. So what you just did was literally the basic form of a squat. And you from there, so stand up again. Sit down again. Now, do it again, but do it slow. No, sit down. But do it as slow as possible. Because when you're doing it, you want to be able to feel the actual muscle groups that you're using to getting up. If you do it too fast, you're not going to feel it as much. So as you're sitting down in your seated position, come up slowly. And notice how you have to push. You have to use your hamstrings. You have to use your glutes to push yourself up, to stand up. You actually feel it. And that's just one of the many different exercises that you can do at the basic level. And that's why I was saying earlier that you want to do and have a you want to be able to have a understanding of not only how your body works, but also being able to do different body weight movements before adding weight onto it. Because adding weight onto different exercises without having the proper form or how you're or knowing the actual knowledge of your own body could actually lead to different types of injuries. You can sit back down again. All right. That's it on my end. Donald, you want to come in, do your part?
Yes. Give Ivan a good round of applause. Ivan, very good presentation, my man. Yeah, very good, very good. I couldn't do it better myself. Thank you, Ivan. Okay, so what have you learned from what Ivan said? That we all need to exercise, right? Okay, you are all good Bible scholars. Good muscles, all right. Very good, very good. Okay, good Bible scholars. So when God put all four parents in the Garden of Eden, what did he tell them to do? That's in Genesis, right? They should work. Isn't work a form of exercise? Yes, so they should work. At what age did he tell them to retire and stop doing it? Did he? All right, great. Did he ever tell them that they should go sit under the mango tree and eat mangoes because now you're too old? All right. I heard from some people that I've worked with that they're too old to exercise. But our good God didn't tell our four parents that they were too old. All right? He also told them, we're in the Bible for a little bit. We're going to be in the Bible for a little bit. He also told them that we will die. We'll all die. But did he ever said we're going to suffer before we die? There's nowhere in the Bible that tells me that we're going to suffer, then die, right? So he gave us the blueprint, right? How to eat and how to live. Now, if we follow that blueprint that God gives us, how to eat and how to live, do you think we will suffer? Because he didn't say we will suffer, and he is true to his words. Excuse me? We will suffer? Show me the text. Okay. suffer persecution, not suffer high blood pressure and diabetes, not suffering high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol, heart problems. He didn't say we're gonna suffer. Not like that. You will suffer persecution, I hope so. We're kind of suffering persecution right now under this current government. Anyway, let's get real. Let's get real. We can all exercise. I am not younger than any of you in here. My journey starts over 30 years ago. I signed up with a fitness and bodybuilding club out there in Long Island in Level Town. I first joined that bodybuilding club. I told you earlier, be careful who you get your advice from when it comes into what you put in your body and what you do with your body. You know, if you're not following the Bible, if it's not biblical, or you're getting it from someone with some kind of background, check it out for yourself. I'm not saying don't use it, but make sure you check it out. All right? So I signed up with this bodybuilding club over 30 years ago. I was peaked. At the time, I was 29, going 30. I was a contender for that year, first place contender. I was twice my size. I was 30 years ago. Follow my story, was twice my size. Well defined. I was peaked. And they held the competition on a Sabbath. You know what we think about Sabbath and going out to do all these kind of things. So I did not show up. So when I went back to the club on Monday, all the guys were like, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean? You didn't show. Man, had you come, you would have gotten first place. I would have my trophy sitting there now. But because it was on the Sabbath, I didn't go, you know, because the laws of God comes first. All right? Never do stuff on the Sabbath that is not godly. So they said if you didn't come first, you definitely will come second because you were bigger and more defined than the guy that comes second. The guy that came first, he's a little bigger than you, but you're more defined. I'm like, okay. So since all the competitions they held then was on a Sabbath, I realized that I wouldn't be able to get a trophy then. So then, you know what, let me get into fitness training where I could teach people how to exercise and do it properly. So here I am. All right, teaching people how to do so. All right? So the journey continues. Like as I said, I was benching over 300 pounds then. And because I continued to work out and use my muscle and the bone density, as Ivan told you, 30 years later, do the calculations, I am still pushing. I still go and I bench 300 pounds. I still bench 300 pounds. Had I gone in the gym yesterday, there's no way I could do that. I have clients that come in the gym, young guys, kids, and they put like 75 pounds on the barbell and they can't lift it. I'm like, are you kidding me? I lift it with one hand. You know? So it is very important to do strength exercise as well as, you know, walking and so forth, because when you do strength exercise, it actually helps to preserve your body, strengthen your muscles, strengthen your bones. All right, walking is very good for you. It's good for your heart. All right, very good. It's good for your heart. So continue walking. You want to keep a healthy heart. But you also need to do strength exercise, and we're never too old to do strength exercise. I'm not telling anyone to go out there and do lift weight or go on the, some people might find it difficult to go on the floor. I'm looking at my audience right now. A lot of us might not be able to go on the floor to do push-ups, but there's an easy way to do it. You don't have to go all the way down. I'll show you. If you just find like a counter, a kitchen counter or somewhere like that, very easy, you don't have to go low. Everyone can do that. Don't So, any age, you should be able to do that. Practice one at a time, but do some strength training. All right? Another form of strength training, you get a chair. You know, I'm looking at my audience as well. Not too young people, so I'm not going to tell them to go do all those crazy sit-ups and push-ups and, you know, HIIT workout. You know, I'll give them exercise, you know, that they can do and gradually grow on. All right? You get a chair and you do some dips. Strengthen your heart, strengthen your hands, your shoulders. It also work on your abdominal muscles. All right? You don't have to go on the floor. Not until you can go on the floor. All right? It is said that walking is a less expensive exercise that we can do. All right? It's not expensive to walk, but not everyone has the time to go out and walk, because I don't know who follows the step pattern, right? But studies shows that some people do 10,000 steps per day, some people do 7,000 steps per day. But how long does it take to do 10,000? Anyone doing the steps? How long does it take to do 10,000 steps in a day? Excuse me? Huh? 20 minutes, you're running, brother. Huh? Yes, it takes over 2.5 hours to do 10,000 steps. And it depending on how fast you walk. So whether you're doing 10,000 steps or 7,000 steps, it's going to take anywhere between 2 hours to 2.5 hours. Not everybody have that time. We have a busy lifestyle, so we probably will not find the time. However, CDC recommends that people over the age of 40, if we only do 10 to 15 minutes worth of exercise each day, over 110,000 lives would be saved annually. Just find some time, 10 to 15 minutes. So if you can't do the 2 hours or 10,000 steps, there is a way, because I don't do the 10,000 steps. I can do a good HIIT exercise, high intensity exercise, and get the same benefits that the person that go out there and do the 10,000 steps get, right? Because if I go in the gym, you'll be stepping all day, and I go in the gym and I start doing some. So for 15 to 20 minutes, I get the same benefits from that 10,000, 2.5 hour steps that that person is doing, because all I can find is 15 minutes for the day. You know, to get my ticking better. All right? So that's how important it is to exercise. And exercise also works with diet. Let's not forget that. All right, Michelle told you times and times over how to eat. She did her research, and that's why she comes up with those information. Some of those research that I find online or from the textbook, I also find them in the Bible, because that's where it starts. And if we follow the blueprint that God gave us, then we can't go wrong. So let's follow the instruction of the Bible. Now, who is ready to do some exercise with me? I noticed, oh, nobody? You're number one? Okay. What part of the body do you have struggled with? What exercise and what exercise? Okay, I don't want to know the exercise. What part of your body you're having struggles with? I can probably help you out with the, give some information of what exercise to do. Okay, so most people are having problem with the belly. So where would you start? Would you start with the diet or would you start with exercise? All right, there you go. You all know. You all know. Michelle, what would you tell them to eat for, to reduce fat? Because I'm going to tell them what exercise to do. What is the best diet for them? Okay, you all. Eat grass. Eat, eat grass. Okay. Okay, so what kind of exercise do you all are you all doing right now for your to fix that belly fat? All right. Again, I'm watching my audience. One minute, sister. Yes, sister. What's going on? You have a question over there? Squats. Oh, you do squats. Okay. You're good. You can do squats. Not everybody can do squats. Some of us can't go that low. All right. So you do the hula whooping. Very good. Yeah, because you turn your waist. All right. All right. So you see, we're getting exercise from our own people here. Which one? Push-ups. Not everybody can do the push-ups, my sister. Come here. I like your exercise. Yeah, come. She gonna show us a good exercise that every age person here can do. Just show them what you just showed me. Crunch. Yes. You can. Or if you can't go on the ground, you can still do your crunches. All right? All right? So whatever you do that compresses your abdomen, then it should help to, because your stomach has different depth of muscles, right? Your stomach has different depth of muscle. A matter of fact, 3 depths of muscles. It have the outer layer, the inner layer, and the interval. So it has 3. So sometimes you're wondering why you're having the right, is everyone listening to me, or are you all talking about your own exercise that you're doing? Can you listen to me, please? Okay, so there are 3 depths, 3 layers of muscle, abdominal muscles, right? You have the outer layer, the inner layer, and the interval. That's what I said. Yes. So sometimes the reason why your belly, you're wondering why it seems like I'm getting that 6-pack, but my belly is still big. Because the inner muscles are weak. They're not strong enough to hold your stomach in. So that's what you try to strengthen. You ever hear them talk about strengthening your core? Yes. So it's not your outer layer, or the inner layer, which is the one beneath that. We mostly strengthen those by doing the plank. So when you plank, and the longer you can hold it, then it helps to strengthen that inner core and the interval. So all the inner muscles that is beneath what you are seeing. So I'll show you how we plank. I'll go up there. So you get down, for those of you who can, and you hold that as long as you can. If I should go higher. All right. So with that plank that Ivan is holding there, it's helping to tighten his inner muscle. The ones that having his, like if you're having your, that belly, you're working on it and you're doing all the exercise you can do. You've been doing the elbow to knee, and you've been jumping and you've been working hard, and you can't get that muscle tightened because the interval is weak. Yes, so you're strengthening it. All right, Ivan. Don't go too far. What time is it? Don't go too far, Ivan. Don't go too far. So we're now going to do a crunch because people really want to work on their abs. Ivan, you can do a crunch. Do a few crunches. Go where you were. I'll show them how we crunch. Go on the top. For those of you who can go down. All right, so that helps to tighten your abs, but it mostly work on the inner and the upper abs. Right now, if I want to work my lower abdominal muscles, I do the reverse crunch. The reverse crunch, legs to the knee. Legs to the reverse. Legs to the, oh. Yeah, reverse crunch. So now I am working and tightening my lower abdominal muscles. All right? You can get on the floor, but you want to do standing crunch. So this, a reverse crunch. Well, you may not be able to stand, but you can sit on a chair. Let's say you get a chair then. Everyone in here can sit on a chair. You're all sitting. So get a chair and do your workout around the chair. You work your abdominal muscle. Here we go. Crunch. Reverse crunch. All right? It's just a foot extension. At some point, you just hold it out and see how long you can hold it. Helps to tighten your abdominal muscle. All right? You hold onto your chair. Stir the grip. All right? So along with diet, this doesn't work by themselves. None of this exercise will work by itself, along with the proper diet. All right? And the diet will not work by itself. The diet also needs exercise. They go hand in hand. All right, diet and exercise, the right diet and the right exercise. Right? So we're still working on the abdomen, right? So there's a thing that we call the love handle. It goes hand in hand with the, all right? So now you want to work the right and left oblique. In my book, we call it the oblique, all right? On the street, we call it the love handle. All right, so there's different ways we can work on the right and left oblique, as Ivan explained earlier about give us some information about the bands, the resistant bands. Resistance bands are not that expensive. So if you can get hold, this is just exercise I'm giving you that you can do outside of the gym. You don't have to go to the gym. It's good if you can go there and use their fancy machines. But if you can't afford to go pay for these fancy machines, or you don't have time, use your environment in your neighborhood, at home, walk to the park. You don't have a park close to your home, walk around the house, walk down the block, all right? And while you're walking, if you feel a little bit energy, just move a little faster, all right? Just don't go out and just casually walk, all right? Walk briskly, right? Because moderate, what you're working on moderate to high intensify workout. So as you go out day by day, that casual walk become moderate walk until it become high intensify walk, and you find yourself starts running. It's very easy to do. Let us do it. You don't have to go to the gym. You can do it without the gym. All right? And we need to make time to do these exercises. I know we have a busy lifestyle. We have the gym. We have, not the gym, we have our job. We have the bills on the table. But you know what? When you're sitting in the wheelchair, who is taking care of that? You sit in the wheelchair and your spouse taking care of you. Nobody wants that. Your spouse don't want that. So why not just help out each other and exercise when we need to? We need to do it. A simple walk. All right? Change your diet. Eat right. You all drive, a lot of you drive expensive cars around here. Right? I've seen some nice expensive car parked up in the parking lot. Who put cheap gas in their car? Well, you see some sign advertising cheap gas. It's mixed with diesel, and it will take you wherever, but it's cheap. Would you put it in your nice Mercedes, Benz, BMW, Lexus, Toyota, Nissan, or whatever it is? No. This body is more complex than the car outside there. It's a very complex thing out there. That car is very complex, but the body is more complex than the car. And God made it special. And if he said we shouldn't put cheap stuff in our bodies, like the GMOs, why are we putting GMOs, cheap things? When you go out to shop, do not pick up all your supplies from the supermarket. Go to the green grocery to pick up your fruits and vegetables. If you eat meat, which you shouldn't, buy your meat from the butcher shop, not from the supermarket where they're pumping artificial blood in there, so it may look fresh. Be careful where we get our supplies from. Be careful what we put in our bodies. We don't put cheap gas in our cars. Don't put cheap food in your bodies. Do not go out and look for sales. Okay? So, I checked the newspaper and everything is on sale. Check the items. Most of them already expired. That is why they go on sale. Don't put it in your body. God didn't make us that way. And our body will not function. That's how we get high cholesterol, or we get sick heart disease because we put in these cheap things in our bodies. Let's not do that. All right. So along with with the right food and exercise, our body will do what God designed it to do, move. All right. Any questions? I have let's take brother Mario. Uh-huh. Yeah, correct.
Because when you tell people that it is a sin, people, oh man, no, it is a sin. Because you know what you ought to do. And you are refusing to do it. And you must remember that this body is not yours.
Never was. Thank you, brother, Elder Mario. Any other persons?
Yes, brother. Noel. My question is, a lot of this stuff, a lot of the exercise you do here, the older folks. I'm thinking about them, right? Because my mom is old, right? What type of an exercise do you recommend? Because most of them are at home. They are from their bed to the chair to the table, and to the bed to the chair, and from the table to the chair to the bed. Right? Before you answer, so you have Sister Esther. She can walk, right?
Yes.
She can do the exercise. Sister, she can walk, but she doesn't move that fast, right? And you have others who are not Sister Maisie. Maisie. Yes, thanks. She can walk, but maybe she's not as flexible as Sister Esther. And you have others who are like that. Before you answer, so I was at the health fair by Sister Greenman, and I met this little lady, just like Sister Esther, right? And she told me that she walks 7 miles most days. And I'm like, you walk 7 miles? And she said, yes. And she said, you know what? I walk 7 miles till I'm getting smaller and smaller. So I'm worrying about when winter comes. That's my only problem. But I just love to walk. You know, some of the time, older folks can do better, you know. They can go out and walk, but they are just saying, oh, I'm whole. I want to save my energy. I don't want to go walk. What do you recommend? Like the stages that I just said, Sister Esther and Sister Maisie.
Elder Blackwood, as we said earlier, people are unable to do things again because they weren't using the method that God asked us to use. So time catch up with some of us, and we're unable to do it now. But there is something that everyone can do, all right? As I said, everyone has a chair. If she's able to sit on the chair, she can exercise. Once she can get up out of that bed, she can exercise. So take, for instance, this is her chair, right? She can walk in place. She don't want to go outside and walk. You sit in the chair and just move the legs. All right? So she don't want to walk outside. Move the legs, start moving it slow until she finds herself moving it faster and faster. All right? Just build up as she go on day by day. She can also use the same chair and lift her legs one at a time. Just one at a time. Use a chair, but do she wants to live longer. 15 minutes worth of that exercise every day. They have done the studies. Over 110,000 life of people over age of 40 has been saved. I read an article with this guy. He's a doctor, a medical doctor. He's over 100 years old. And he wrote an article. He still exercises. He says there is a family disease that they had in their family, and he outlived his brothers and all members of his family, all because he exercised every day. He says exercise is important. He exercised every day. The family disease did not come on him because, some things are in our DNA, but we doesn't have to get it if we eat right and exercise. Not because our grandparents have it and our parents have it, it means that we will get it, right? So, yeah, lifestyle change, all right? So
before we take more questions, so kind of to add on to what Brother Donald is saying, right? All of us in our homes, right, we have smart TVs, right, for the most part. We all have smart TVs, right? For those who use the smart TVs, you watch the live stream of church on here if you're able to come here, right? So there's times when me and Ash, if we want to get a workout and we don't want to go to the gym, we literally go to the smart TV, go onto YouTube and be like, 1 mile walk or 2 mile walk. You click it, and it literally is like a step aerobics class, and it's for like 20 minutes. And like not even 20 minutes, it could be 15 minutes, and right before you know it, you're finished. So there's technology that we can use to where for someone who can't necessarily make it outside of the house, they can still get a workout even if they're in the confines of their own home.
yes, very good information. So there are information out there, as he was saying, and most of these people that put it out there, they are certified in that field. So, they put a general information out, but, not all the time when you click on something, it is for your age group. So make sure you find something that suits you, all right? Because if you click on something that is for the younger group, you may hurt yourself. And if you're not a person who exercises quite often, make sure you check with your doctor before you exercise. Brother Elder Mario. Okay, tomorrow at what time, Elder? Okay, 8 to 10 tomorrow. There's an exercise program going on at Chisholm, Shirley Chisholm. It will be held by Elder Mario.
That's
Okay.
that part. So if you're taking the Belt Parkway, it's the Pennsylvania Avenue exit. It's literally right on the left-hand side of the Pennsylvania Avenue exit.
Okay. Okay, if you all can make it to that park, join Elder Mario. Otherwise, we need to have one here in Queens. Right next door. Can you take it next door close to the church? Try it. Yeah, you can, take it right here to the park down there. You'll have us all. We're all interested. After this month, we're all interested in eating right and exercise. It's a very good month. Thank God for this month. Elder Jones, you need to make this happen more often. A month lay aside for how to eat, how to sleep, what's the new start? You all know the new start. Okay, very good class. Good students. Good students. All right. So, it's a blessed month. Any more questions regarding exercise and what you want to exercise? Shannon?
Because they want to save their energy. But the saying goes, if you don't use it, you lose it. So just think about, people who find themselves like in a nursing home, they're laid up in the bed, they can't walk at all. You don't want to get to that point. So 10, 15 minutes of just moving your muscles will do a great deal for you the older you get.
Thank you, Shannon. Studies actually show that 10 to 15 minutes, you can save your life. Let's not chew ourselves into our graves. All right? Eat right and exercise. Any other person have questions? You have a bicycle? You want to donate? Okay, what about your bicycle? Give her the mic.
I really like this program. Just one suggestion. They are amongst us, all right? Some people in here who exercise every day. And I mean, if you look at them, you can tell that, they have a different level of health. And, for example, yourself, you could see that Brother Donald doesn't look his age. He looks like
Well, you did a
about 20
calculation.
years younger, right? Yeah, because he exercises regularly. You have some other seniors. So look, Brother Coffee here. Brother Coffee exercises very regularly, and you can't run a faster mile than Brother Coffee. And Brother Coffee is a senior, right? He's older than many of these youths in here, and they can't walk with Brother Coffee. Who else? I see a couple other people in the park. But I encourage you. You may not be able to go till to Brooklyn to be with Elder Mario, but you can go to the nearest park. You got Baisley, you got so many parks around. Roy Wilkins, you got, and go out, make it a matter of religion. Just because you come to church every Sabbath, you go to the park every week, even if it's 2 times a week. Find a park that is near you and do some exercise. Sister Vivian, where's Sister Vivian? Vivian, she's not here? These are all examples of people who look good, and I know why they look good because I see them in the park. So I encourage you, go out. You would not only live longer, but you would live healthier. You'd be able to move, you'd be able to go to the shop, you'd be able to go to the market. Don't just drive all the time. Many of us, we drive too much. Yeah, we drive to go from one block when we could walk. Because we allow, that we think that we're better off. No, you're not better off. You're worse off by driving. You got 2 blocks to go, put on a nice boots, and walk. And you will see you will live much longer. It's not so, Brother Coffee.
Thanks for words of
Amen.
encouragement, Elder. So, as you were saying, you don't have to go to Brooklyn and, you recommend you go to the park, but some of us don't live close to the park either, but we live on a block. Wake up and walk up the block if you can, if you're able. Well, all of us here are able because we are here. So we are able. Wake up tomorrow morning. 3 times per week, it's recommended. Studies shows 3 times per week. You have 7 days, 3 out of the 7. We all are able. Get up. 15 to 20 minutes will save your lives. All right, get your ticker ticking better. All right. Yes, we had a program going on in the park. We had a very good turnout. We had lots of support from Adventists and non-Adventists, but it was during COVID, and COVID kind of changed things. I got busy and never did find that I lost the time that I was sharing with the church. Yeah. My brother.
Yeah, I have a deep concern. Yeah, my I have a few experience, a personal experience. What I'm about to say now. My 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 grandfather and my grandmother has 10 children. My grandmother and my grandfather, I think they lived 90 hard years. My grandmother lived 94 years. My grandfather lived, I think, 93 years. I was the lover of my grandfather. I grew up in a home. I'm a Jamaican, right? So I grew up in a home where I used to steal the pork chops that grandma used to. I don't know if you know about that, but
I don't know pork tripe.
so what I'm saying is that grandma they used to, when they kill the pig, they used to have stick that they put over the fire. Yeah, and I used to go and steal a dumpling and put it in my pocket. And when grandma come, the dumpling burn with me, and I want to come out of the kitchen, but grandma gave me work to do. However, what I'm saying is that I've never seen my grandfather exercise. I know exercise is good. It's good. I believe in exercise. My grandfather, when my grandmother cooked and gave my grandfather, he gave me half of everything that he get. If he get 2 dumplings, he give me 1, and I get mine just the same, half of everything. And I've never seen my grandfather get sick, and he drinks a lot. I'd never see had a sickness. And he died at 90 at years old. I've known people who vegetarians who eat pure vegetables and grains and nuts and drink water. And that person, they don't use sugar and all those stuff, and that person end up having diabetes at a young age. So can you answer this question? Why is it the person that eats in and out wind up live longer than even sometimes person do all of this to eat healthy and exercise?
Okay, before I answer, Elder Mario is going to answer, Sister Norma is going to answer, and Sister Blake will answer.
First of all, your grandfather lived back probably 50 years ago. The environment was different. The lifestyle were different. You may never see him exercise, but he would go out in the yard and dig up the yucca and the cassava, and all of that is exercise. Number
Amen,
one.
Elder.
Number two, everybody makeup is different. Okay, everybody's makeup is different. So what is good for me may not be good for you. Okay? And what is good for you may not be good enough for me. And that's why one of the things the brother said that I hope you pay attention to is that before you start to do anything, check with your doctor. That's number one. Number two, get to know yourself. Because some of what I need, you may not need. And some of what you need, I may need. And that's what we need to do. God expects us to do our best to take care of ourselves. Our best. You can't. I preach here one Sabbath for morning manna. What would you lay? No, it's time for you to lay your Isaac on the altar.
Thank you, Elder. Let's hear from Sister Norma.
Put your best on the altar. Give it your best.
Time running out on us. Let's hear from Sister Norma.
I think somebody has answered what I was going to ask. And I'm saying, and Donald Trump was not around. So it makes our life so bitter these days. Amen.
Listen, back to my brother question there, what he was saying. Back then, in the old days, these people, they worked very hard. And where do they work? In the sun. They get in the vitamin D. They work out there every day. And they're doing all kind of stuff, exercising the whole body. And another thing too, they didn't have the chemicals in their garden like what we have now. So this is a chemical that is what is killing us. Not anything else but the chemical that we're using. And they never used to use grease like how we using the grease now these days to do everything. They boil the coconut oil from scratch and they use that. When you get up in the morning, that oil is sleeping. Just like how we go to sleep, that oil sleeps and it wakes up in the day, full of life again to use. So they do all kind of exercise for the whole days. As he said, they get 2 dumplings, we get 1. Because they're the hard-working one and we're not working. We get 2 with them.
Thank you,
You know,
Sister
so that's what it is. The chemical that is using now in the earth. Because when you look at, says they're using like gramazone to spray the grass. And then they plant the crop in it. And then they put the fertilizer and everything. That's what is killing us.
Thank you, Sister Norma. Well, as you heard it from them, my brother, you know, as I said, everyone else answered my question here. Because as I said, when God placed Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden, he didn't place Planet Fitness with them. He says work. Work is a form of exercise. Your grandfather, he probably worked just as hard as my father. When I follow my father to bush, I can't go back a second day. He have all these cows. And I wonder how he managed them cows. He said, carry that cow, go water. And when I hold on to that cow rope, and the cow start drag me all over the place, I don't want to go back the next day. I've never worked that hard in my life. When I follow my father to bush, he wake us up early in the morning. When I come back from bush, I'm wet from my foot all the way up to my waist, dew water, early in the morning. Them guys work very hard. And that's what God placed us here to do. He says work, all right? And 90% of what we eat, he planted. So that's why I recommend for you not to buy that pump of meat from the supermarket, but go to the butcher shop. All right? Yes, so be careful where you get your food from because there's so much GMOs now. So, you know, my father also lived, he was like 97 when he died. He, as you said, there was no Planet Fitness. He had no reason to go to Planet Fitness. The reason why all our people here go to Planet Fitness is because they're not working as hard. They're not burning that sweat, pushing all that sweat, that toxic that your body builds up. All right? So, yes, they live longer then because they had better food and they work harder than us. Not in air condition. When you go to them church, I was in them church down there in Jamaica and we be sweating. You guys are too comfortable in this church. You wake up and you go to church in air condition. You go in your car and you pumping the air condition and you run through the sun to get back to your car and in the building. That's not good for us. Of course you're going to get sick. Yeah, if he wasn't eating the pork tripe. Yeah, 5:30. I have until 5:30. I have until now. All right. They said I should finish. We're gonna have to ask Elder Jones to, give us another day so we can continue this. But I'm hoping to see everybody tomorrow morning. Wake up at 5 a.m. Whatever time you wake up. You say a word of prayer. That's my routine. I wake up. The first thing I do, my routine, I pray. Then I exercise. I like to go outside and take a deep breath of air. I breathe it in. I hold it, I let it out. I do that at least 5 times just to get the oxygen flowing through my body. Try that tomorrow morning early before the sun comes out. Go out, take deep breaths in, and let it out. You know, sun starts coming out later now. It comes out like about 7 o'clock, so up by 6 o'clock, if the entire congregation can go outside and just take deep breaths in and let it out, and then take a 5-minute walk. That would be a blessing to our soul. It was nice talking to you all. So Elder Moten is going to pray for us, and we will start the AY program. I don't know. Do your research. Do another research. Elder Moten, can you pray for us?
Thank you once again, Brother Donald, for your presentation. As we close, let us pray, but also let us be mindful that when we exercise, it first starts up here in the mind. We have to make up the decision in our mind first. Once we make up the decision in our mind first, then we will carry out that which we want to complete. So at this time, let us have a word of prayer. Father God, who art in heaven, Lord, we thank you once again, Lord, for allowing this time in your Sabbath day to discuss the benefits of physical activity and exercise. Lord, it's our prayer that you provide us all here with the strength to do physical activities, to work out these bodies that you have loaned to us. Lord, that we, in all that we do, may honor and glorify you. Lord, as we leave here at the end of the day and as we go forth, Lord, may we understand the responsibility that it is to be active and to work out these bodies that you have loaned us. Lord, that these bodies may be an example of what physical activity and exercise can do for each other. Lord, these your bodies are supposed to be temples in which you can dwell in. So Lord, let us be mindful of that in what we eat, what we place into these bodies. Lord, as we're about to start the AY program, I just ask and pray for your covering over those who will be participating in the program, and Lord, those who are on their way and those who are here currently. And Lord, may we be able to say at the end of this program and the programs to follow that it was good to be in your house today. Lord, this we ask and pray in your Son, Jesus Christ's name. Amen.